Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody put their diamond in the air. Diamonds in the air.
As a living testament and recollection of history in the making during our generation.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is A-Z-L-O-V. I used to lose snowflakes by the OZ. I guess even back then you could call me CEO of the ROC.
Yeah, boys. Let's go.
Yeah.
Fuck Meek Mill, dude.
Thursday
Fuck Philly.
night. Fuck
New York, boy.
Philly.
New York.
That's the topic of tonight's show. You can't put it on YouTube because they get a little upset when you use swear words, but fuck Philly. We're here.
Fuck 'em.
It's Thursday night. There's no football on TV. You know who's on the TV? Your phone, your computer, the Beards. We're here and we're live. Gentlemen,
Yes, sir.
how are we feeling right now?
Feel fucking good.
I feel fantastic. Couldn't be any better. There's just guys like I've just this whole week has been amazing. Like I don't know how you guys have done it, but like I've literally had no arguments on Twitter, no strife in the home. You want to know why? Because I'm happy.
I mean,
I'm a happy guy. We're happy. It's a happy.
I may have been
base.
poking at some Philly fans.
Oh yeah, but that's
I may have been
natural. That's
poking at
fun.
some Philly fans.
That's not civil.
They can get all the smoke.
They're not real. They're not real. So it doesn't really matter.
Fuck
No,
Philly.
I mean
Eagle hate week.
it's Eagle hate week, but like I am dead serious when I say this. If I wasn't as big of a Giants fan as I am, I still would hate Philadelphia. It's the shittiest fucking city. There's no good pizza. The quote unquote city of brotherly love. People won't piss on you if you're on fire in the fucking streets. They honor a fucking fake heavyweight champion when they've had a real heavyweight champion in their actual lifetime. Rocky is fake, guys. Rocky is fake. Okay. Someone said to me that Michael B.
They have
Jordan was a
actual
Giants
boxers from Philly.
No, I know that. I'm just saying, like they legitimately are the most trash city in the world, and the idea that they could worship a fictional character. It's like if fucking somewhere in Kansas they were like, you know who we have a statue of? Harry Potter. Like, what the fuck are you guys like? Are you guys serious? Like, that's not a real person. Rocky would have got his ass beat in fucking almost every fight. All right,
I think
I'm a big. It's just a joke. The joke of the city
somewhere in Kansas, actually.
Is there? Because he's real too.
It is fairly ridiculous.
And then they went ahead and built a statue to a quarterback that they immediately let go and a coach that they fired like 2 years later.
Because they won one Super Bowl. Awesome. It's a shitty ass town.
We have a Super Bowl.
Dude, I hate it. My best friend lives in Philadelphia. He's not from there or not an Eagles fan and anything like that. But dude, I can't tell you every single time I go out there how many times I've like almost or have been thrown on by Eagles fans. Like they just embrace being scumbags. I got some girl punched my friend in the face because we said that Matthew Stafford was a better quarterback than Nick Foles.
Well, that's just false, right? Clearly. He had one good run.
Yeah,
apparently, I've also been informed that there's a Mothman statue in West Virginia. So
that is
really
true.
This we're talking about statues.
That is true. There is a Mothman.
Yeah.
I as somebody who used to live in West
Mothman.
Virginia, there is a Mothman statue there.
Listen, the last thing I'm going to say about Philly before we get into our team, because it's about us, not them. But the one thing I will tell you about Philly, just to give you a quick correlation. Do you know that when I was living in LA, people would actually argue over who should get a statue in terms of the Lakers when it was like before Shaq got one, like even before Kobe passed away. He might be the only person that I'm not like fuck Kobe because he was born in PA, but outside of him, everyone else can get it. I don't give a shit. Like I'll respect the fact that that dude passed away, but the rest of everybody, Meek Mill, Kevin Hart, fucking anybody else, Bill Cosby, biggest fucking douchebag of all time, they can all go straight to hell. I could care less.
Yep.
Nah, I'm gonna pull out Eli Rax and get in real tight, like in the New York Revival. Fuck Philly. Let's go. On to the Giants, boys. How we feeling?
I feel fucking fantastic, boys. I feel fantastic.
Glad to be sitting down because I didn't sit down the whole second half of the game, man. I paced my apartment and I feel sorry for my carpet. I was just could not sit down. I couldn't sit down the whole second half.
Yeah, I told you last week I have that weird thing where I just knock on wood, and I beat the hell out of my side table that entire game. I beat the shit out of it, but we won. It worked.
No, that's awesome. My TV is mounted, so like I start sitting, and then I gradually start to kind of move around. And when I start moving around, then the dogs start getting involved. So I like have to dodge a Great Dane and a Husky.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting dance. It's very fun. But then if I yell one time, they leave me alone. So I don't yell at them for all the dog lovers out there. I just, oh fuck, like something like that. And like they're like, oh shit, dad's upset. So they go away.
You're yelling at the television. No,
Yes.
my dog gets upset when I yell too. It's
So guys, I think for me, before we get into like any topics or clips or anything that we have, I've said this a long time ago, and I'm going to say it again. This team, we all know what we saw with Daniel Jones having a great game, Saquon, the offensive line, Hodgins to Richie James to Slayton minus the drop to Dexter Lawrence. There are so many names. Dory Jackson holding Jet to like 7 catches and 44 yards. All of the stats. That's my whole overarching theme is this is a team that is playing up to maybe above their potential, but they're playing with, not house money. I hate that term, but they're playing well, and they are playing together, and they are playing smart, tough football. I think they're first in the league and not miss tackles. Like they're doing the things like the basic stuff. It's not sexy. It's except for Dexy. There's no like flash to this team. Not really. I mean, a little bit here and there, and we'll get to that later. We got a cool clip to show you, but there's no Pat Mahomes no look pass, right, Monty?
Yeah.
There's no, there's not a lot to it. Although Daniel Jones threw a little behind the back handoff in the game, so we're feeling ourselves a little bit. Like we're getting I think Kafka's kind of opening it up. Like, tell me how you guys feel about that, because I felt like it was a different offense, pass first to set up the run. And I don't see that stopping. I think that's going to be kind of the identity going forward if this run is going to keep going. Monty, what do you think?
Yeah, man, I'm totally with you. And I've actually been thinking a lot. You mentioned about, we talked to LPG last week, and we were talking about that house money and kind of what we are. And you're right. We talked about it last week, and house money is not the right word because, these guys a lot of these guys have never been to the playoffs. A lot of these guys don't know next time they'll make it. So, I mean, they want as bad as anybody. But I do think there is some sort of calmness with this team where they've proved everybody wrong already. Like, as much as they want to go on and keep winning, and we're going to go and bake that goal and continue to prove people wrong, there's something about just we're doing our thing, and we're going to play our game, and we're going to continue to take it our way and just march our way through this playoffs. There's not like these expectations that are brought on us, like the Eagles, who were this team going to win 15 games this year. Is this team going to win 16 games this year? And they started struggling down the stretch, and they desperately need wins. We're here, baby. We're here, and nobody wants to play us. So, I think you see that with this team right now.
You got Sarge.
Wherever we were a month ago. So the first time we played the Eagles, we got smacked. I mean, we all know it. We admit it. We got they came into MetLife, and we got smacked around. It wasn't a good game at all. Second game, we played Philly. It's kind of a wash because it really wasn't. It really wasn't, because Philly struggled against our 2s and 3s. Hurts was not 100%. They needed that game to get the number 1 seed, to give them a week off. They got their week off, but really, is a week off really going to do it for you? Is it really going to rest you enough? I mean, are these guys really feel like playing the Giants right now? They may have beaten us twice, but we're on a roll now. You know, we're feisty, you know, and you're right. It doesn't look pretty, but it doesn't have to be.
Nope.
You know, it's not sexy because we're doing what we need to do to win a game. You know, and we don't have.
No, you're right.
It is enough. It is.
It's
enough.
our way.
Oh,
it's our way.
Oh,
Sorry,
and I got something for Nick Sirianni. While we're talking, I got a little something for Nick Sirianni.
Oh.
Thank you.
Did you get
anyone?
stuffed crust? Did you get that? I know you didn't get trashy Pizza Hut, did you?
No, dude. Pizza Hut. It gives me like a really bad acid reflux. I only get New York style pizza, and there's a couple of decent places around here that'll do the job. So, you know,
look at you.
Nick Sirianni,
look at you eating a slice. I love it. What a pie. Give me a one bite. Give me a Dave Portney situation here. What do we got?
No, it's very nice.
How's
You know what?
that
I tried this place not too long ago because it's relatively new. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. There's not a ton of crunch to it, because it's also super cold right now. A little heavy on the garlic.
Okay.
But, you know,
Okay. I feel you.
I'm all about it.
Sal chimed in and said Giants are beating the Eagles. Why? Because fuck them. That's why. And Sal, we appreciate you because fuck them. That's why.
Exactly.
It's actually really insightful, Sal. I think I'm really enjoying that. I want to
Sal, I
say
appreciate you coming in and dropping bombs like that.
Yeah, it's a gem. No, I saw this, and I'm going to play a clip of Dexter Lawrence. This is the first time the Eagles have seen Dexter Lawrence and Leonard Williams in the same backfield. Right now, with that, you're also getting Adoree Jackson back. You're getting Fabian Moreau going back to the 2 slot. You're getting guys like Cordell Flott. That's going to come in and also, you know, hopefully kind of make plays like he did in pretty much the biggest play of any cornerback in that Vikings game. I think Adoree Jackson, what he did against Justin Jefferson when he had him one-on-one was 7 catches for 44 yards. After that first drive, we never saw that dude again. And what they did was very similar, and this is Brian Daboll, having been in the Patriots, you know, system and everything like that. When a guy catches the ball, make him feel it 3 and 4 and 5 times. They held him up. They held guys up, whether it was him, Thielen, Hawkinson, and they all got in on the action. And that is 100% a reason why I think this team is hungry and ready to kind of take on this challenge of the Eagles with A.J. Brown and with Devontae Smith and Quez Watkins. If those guys are going to make plays, they're going to have to pay for it, and that's fine. We are not with house money. The players are not. Who has house money is Joe Shane. Joe Shane has house money, and I think Brian Daboll has house money because he can play. You know, great example of that is Dan Campbell and the Lions went into Green Bay with nothing to lose and won that game. If Brian Daboll has absolutely no pressure on him this week, none. You can say anything you want that he expects himself to win. But in the court of public opinion, if they lose this game, it's going to be like, oh, well, third youngest team in the NFL, overachieved, coach of the year, figured out the quarterback situation. He's checked every box already. He has house money. Joe Shane has house money. If they were to somehow make another run and at least get to the NFC Championship game, at least, this is easily one of the best stories in New York sports in the last 10 or 12 years. And I'm not talking about championships. I'm just saying storylines. So when we're talking house money, I think that Shane and Daboll definitely do. You know, Wink has house money because fuck it. He's interviewing for a job on Sunday. He's focused on Saturday, but he may get an offer from the Colts. Maybe not, but still. Same with Kafka. They're going to pull out all the stops, boys, and that's where I'm at right now.
The thing is if you've listened to the interviews though, Wink kind of said, "Oh, New York is a destination. It's not a stepping stone." Oh, he wants to be a head coach.
To me, that's
he's also that. You know what? We're building something big here. best goddamn city in the world, and we're going to be the best goddamn football team. So, we're building something. And as far as Kafka goes, he's got a ton of interviews coming up on Sunday. Exactly. I don't think they're going anywhere.
I don't think they
the
are
Texans'
either.
job is a dead end. You're gone after a year.
The Colts is what I'm worried about because they clearly have interest in
they have interest, guys. And they're also probably going to draft a quarterback that he could try to mold right off the bat. They already have a pretty decent defense in place. Like when they're healthy. This was just a shit year for the Colts. Like it wasn't like they're a terrible organization. They've kind of been in the lull since Andrew Luck, but their defense, they've still made the playoffs. I think again, I love Wink. I'm not saying he's bullshitting you because he seems like a pretty upfront guy, but I've been around enough coaches in my life that that's a great thing to say. It's a platitude. I love it. It's the right thing to say because he has a relationship with the Maras, but it's still coach speak. You know how many coaches have told the players that they're not going anywhere, and then 2 days later they take a job?
So
Yep. You got something, Sarge?
Yeah, I just find it very amusing that, think about it this way. This is Kafka's first year as an offensive coordinator. It's his first year calling plays, and all of a sudden, like, people are trying to nab him for a head coaching position. It's like, do you think maybe he's not quite qualified yet? He needs a little time, Yeah.
So I got something to say, kind of both your points there. What first was to smooth your point about the coach speak, and I don't disagree. That's kind of what comes off me too. But something that comes to my mind was the only other head coaching interview that I know that Wink's gotten before this is one he interviewed for us. I've tried looking it up before, and I couldn't find any other ones he got. And there was an interview that came out after that time. And, normally you'd be like, yeah, you would kind of say coach speak. You'd be like, I had to do the diligence. It was an honor, but, it didn't happen. No big deal. Straight up said in that interview, he's like, yeah, that's what I wanted. I wanted that job. Mm-hmm. And the fact that he said that then and is now kind of like at the defensive coordinator in the place where he wanted and is like, no, this is where I wanted to be. I feel like there might be something a little bit more. I do agree that it is coach speaking in the sense where this is a fit and he likes it. That's where he wants to be. But I do think he wants to genuinely be here and wouldn't take any head coaching job over this.
Yeah, and I'll just respond to that real quick, and then you can go back to what you were going to say about Sarge's point. I think you're spot on when you talk about Wink. I think if you look up Wink's history, if you look up where he's from, like his dad ran a trucking company, like he's a salt of the earth dude. Like, yeah, I think he is one of the you could make a case as you are that he is not bullshitting you when he says that because he's telling you what he thinks, and he's also an older guy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like but that could go both ways. As an older guy, you're at peace with who you are and what you're doing for your life because he loves this job in this city and in the Giants players. But you also realize that there's only 32 of these in the world. Yeah. And if you can get that one opportunity and that could be it, that's your last chance to be a head coach. Because as you guys know in the NFL, like things turn on a dime, as we have just witnessed from 4-13 to now 9-7-1, a step from the NFC Championship game. Like things flip. So if he can somehow get a head coaching job and that turns into, getting to the playoffs, catching lightning in a bottle, that cements his legacy. It's the only thing he hasn't done in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So you were going to say something about Sarge's point.
Yeah. So and I agree with you there. And it should be interesting if it plays out. But to Sarge's point with Kafka and being a first-time play caller, and there's one person I've been thinking of all year with that, where people have been talking about Kafka won't get a job, Kafka won't get a job, Kafka won't get a job. And there's the team that reminds me a lot of the Giants, the way they started, is the Tennessee Titans. Just the way they got that coach in there and they really built around that running game and they immediately saw success. And the person I think of there was this guy, Matt LaFleur, who came in there as a McVay guy, but he was never a play caller. He worked in there and they brought him in to be an offensive coordinator. He coached there 1 year, did not have good offensive stats. They were like 20th in the country because, they didn't have the best like weapons and all that. They were still going between like Mariota and all that at quarterback, but they found a way, and he immediately got scooped up and got a head coaching job in Green Bay. So I think it's an interesting parallel. I don't know what happened, but it happens out there, and I think that just the timelines of how these teams are coming together, and to get two guys who came from really well respected organizations. I think or at least head coaches, maybe not organizations, but I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see if he actually gets it. I think I'm kind of with you guys, with most Giants fans, that probably doesn't happen. It's too early, but I can see it happen because I think these young guys, these young offensive guys, do get jobs earlier than others.
Let's watch a little Sexy Dexy and listen to Brian Baldinger break down his play.
It's amazing. Just look at this. Like, you cannot run around blocks, okay? You can't do that. He's going to go right through you. Like that, you can't position block Dexter Lawrence. He's too damn good. All right?
Doesn't Baldy have, like, the best voice? And also, doesn't he also, like, exude passion? Like, if Brian Baldinger was your fucking uncle, wouldn't you be pumped? Like, when you were a kid, if he was coming over, like, you'd be like, oh, Uncle Brian's coming over. We're going to fucking throw the football, and, like, he's going to, like, gas me up and shit. Like, he's first off, he's great at this. Like, I think he's probably
Baldy actually reminds me of my.
Yeah, I'm sure he probably reminds of us a lot of that. But I turned it down. I'll watch the rest of the play. Dexter Lawrence is just a fucking monster.
You want to do that? That's what's going to happen. It's just a one-man wrecking crew right here. Watch him just destroy the interior of this. Ezra Cleveland. 3rd and 11. Watch what this destruction does. All right? You got Tony Jefferson, Xavier McKinney. They're just dogging the A-gaps right there. Watch this stuff right here. Watch this power. Look at Kirk Cousins, 3rd and 11. I don't know, 6 minutes to go in the game. Look at him. He's just trying to get the ball out of his hands any way he can. It's not even a pass. You know what they do right there? You know what they say after that? You know what they say after this right here happens? On the Minnesota Vikings sideline? Punt team, get ready.
Punt team, get ready. Yo, he's the best. I love his, even though I hold absolutely nothing against him when I asked him if he would want to come on the show. And he said, no, I work for a living. And I was just like, motherfucker, what do you think we do? That's what I wanted to say. So Brian Baldinger, we're going to clip that. I'm going to ask you again. And as I told Lawrence Tynes, I'll sign something for you, man. If you want signed memorabilia from Big Smooth, I got you, man. Like, I'm just saying, like, we'll do whatever.
Yeah.
I'm down to we got shirts, we got.
I mean,
I'm sure we have some other
send
merch
you.
to add to it.
Yeah. We've got a surprise for Brian Baldinger later on in the show.
Yeah, we do.
And
that would be dude. That's the way we get him on
to you. If you want to come on the show,
that's Sarge. Why are you a fucking?
You know
genius?
what?
I think you are.
I'm not even going to bury the lead.
I literally think you're a genius.
No, I'm not even going to bury the lead, ladies, gentlemen. Brian Baldinger, the newest shirt from the Big Blue Beards.
Yeah, baby.
Hot 97.
Hot
with
97.
Sexy D in the morning. So, Baldy.
Monty, describe that for me.
We'll send you one of these shirts right here.
Other way. There we go. Point the right. There you go.
I got. Yeah, man. Hot 97, local New York radio. We got Sexy Dexy in the morning.
We'll send you one of these shirts. And we may all even autograph it for you if you come on the show. So there you go.
I will literally
you get
pay
merch.
for Brian Baldinger to come to New York and do a sideline show with Dexter Lawrence. I think that would be amazing to have him like in the building talking about that. I love it.
I just dropped the link to the shirt if anyone's interested. That was one that I drew up earlier this week. That's probably my favorite one that's come through. So it's right there if anybody.
I love it.
I'm interested.
If anyone's in the chat and they want to know, I think we all kind of have creative, collaborative minds, but that one was 100% Monty. He kind of threw that up there and was like, "What do you guys think of this?" And there's some other ones up there too. If you guys are into the Daniel Jones stuff, we have the shirt that Sarge is wearing now, and then then we got this one, the Dan Chais.
And the
I think
new
that's
shirt.
a cool one as well.
Yeah, that one came out this week as well.
So we'll continue to kind of throw some stuff up there and spread the word. Can you show? I know Sarge is very sexy like Dexy, but why don't you show us one of our female fans, KC? I think she modeled that for us and put it on her Instagram and stuff like that. Yes. So this is the shirt. So if you have anybody that you want to give this to, that's a female Giants fan, or you just want to get one for yourself, that's KC. That's me. If you like that too. So yeah, that's the other shirt.
Models for shirts.
all these sexy models. I love it.
It's not just men's shirts. It's not just men's shirts, kids. We got shirts for all y'all.
All of y'all. So
all y'all.
Doug, take it easy. We'll put that up there.
Oh, we did at the same time.
How dare
Everybody
you?
behave.
Relax. She's a friend. Take it easy. No, so one of the things that we brought this topic up a long time ago about how Daniel Jones doesn't move the needle for some fans. We're not talking about his play anymore. He's proven himself. I think everyone here understands that this kid is coming back. I think all of us were on the Revival show, at least the chat the other day, when they brought up contract numbers. I think we all are in agreement that this guy is baseline the Dak Prescott deal, 4 for $160. So he's at $40 million a year. I think that's going to be his ask. Whether they're willing to give that is another thing. I don't think they're not going to. But the point of the show, we're not even going to get into contract stuff. I only brought that up to say that he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we talked about was,
Mason's
what does
not
this
here.
guy
We're
need
not
to
gonna
do?
talk
Does he need a beard? Does he need to fucking have a different haircut? Does he need to have a fade? Like, is Danny too corny? Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, what would make you people happy? What would make Daniel Jones happy? Daniel Jones haters happy. So I don't know if anyone saw this on Twitter.
People?
Yeah. I mean, all the old whites, myself included. Okay. What do all the old whites want? No. So I literally saw this and I was like, is Daniel Jones doing the gritty while breaking down the team? So if people don't realize that this dude is got a little bit of swag on him, I don't know what will happen. But this is him. You got to look real close.
Look at the red jersey.
There it is.
That jersey dead center.
I'm going to do it one more time. If you want to look in again, watch Daboll kind of look at it and then turn around and clap. Like he's like, fuck yeah, we're going to win this game. Bam, bam, bam. Let it run one more time. Watch. Sees it. Yes.
Man's hitting
Love
the
it.
gritty.
The man's hitting the gritty. Listen, I
think we have to retire the gritty after this season. It's got to be done. I mean, you can't.
I don't know, man. It's kind of a fun one.
That's the best one. It's either that or Kayvon hitting the gritty on the Vikings logo.
That was dope. Not gonna lie, that was awesome.
Every good thing has to come to an end. You remember when Odell made the whip popular, and now everyone that's the corniest shit in the world.
The whip and the nay-nay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know what, man? Like, I just think for me, all that stuff is fun. Like, I'm super excited for everybody that follows me on Twitter and that follows our podcast. Like, y'all know that I've been hard on Daniel Jones, that I've made fun of him in the past. And I think part of it is just like, you at this point, you just can't do it anymore. Like, he's proven himself in a big stage. Like, I heard someone say like, oh, he's still an average quarterback. And I was like, no, like an average quarterback wins a playoff game with, 190 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and manages the game well. if the reverse happened and Saquon had like 250 and like 2 touchdowns, and DJ still had, a good game, but not like that, then you could justify some of the, well, I'm still not sure. But it's the decision making. It's the recognition. Dan Orlovsky did a great breakdown of him on that Isaiah Hodgins' first touchdown pass. Like the recognition of making sure that linebacker doesn't drop into coverage and kind of seeing that mismatch that's processing level at a high speed. Just kind of seeing that little level of kind of integration there. That was fantastic. And we just can't nitpick this kid anymore when it comes to that. Like, it's not processing speed. He was getting sacked a lot earlier in his career. He was afraid to run. Now he is literally seeing these. Okay, it's man coverage. They don't have a spy on me, and there's a seam. Boom, he's done. There's 7 yards right there.
So much.
Roll out 5 yards. Beat the guy around the corner when they lose contain. Like all of the things that he wasn't doing. These are all things that I called for at the beginning of the year. Like when he was playing the Panthers and they needed a yard. Like he wasn't doing this earlier in the year. Like he wasn't. He was managing the game, wasn't turning the ball over. But now it's time to all right, man, balls to the wall, fucking get after it. Like he sees something and he does it. It's decisive. It's effective. And that's the kind of quarterback that you want in the playoffs. Someone that's hot, someone that's going to make quick decisions, and someone that is not going to turn the ball over, and that he's doing all of that.
Yeah. And dude, I can't believe how much he's grown in some things. There's just some stuff with Jones that it's not even Jones. I didn't think a quarterback could grow as much as he did. Like with his pocket presence, with being able to sense that type of pressure and be able, first of all, used to drop the ball every single time he gets hit. Now he holds on. When I expect any quarterback to fumble, when he moves up in the pocket, he feels it. With his post snap being able to read everything, as Sal said, like it's things that it's just, he is honestly an outlier at this point with how much he's growing, especially in year 4, in a year 1 of a new system. You do not see this. It is rare, which makes me it does make me wonder where Jones can get to. Like obviously, look at statistically this year, he had a good year, but you're expecting better next year, and you're expecting, because that's what it was. Everyone, this was always my worry with Jones this year. It was, I didn't think he could show enough in year 1 of a system to prove himself, and he it took some time this year, but he fucking did by the end. So man, I'm excited to see what Jones becomes, because he is growing at an alarming rate right now.
Yeah, and Sarge, I want to go to you right after just this one quick point. Like even when the pocket breaks down and he's not able to escape, he's not going backwards. And if he does, he's throwing it away or trying to beat a guy to the corner. Minnesota got their first sack in that game, and it was a 2-yard, maybe a 1-yard loss. Zadarius Smith beat, I think, Evan Neal. And he was able to and Jones was able to kind of scoot forward and was able to lose like a yard or two. And then the next play, they got a first down. So it's like he's minimizing those negative plays too. So he's picking up his offensive linemen who are kind of getting beat off the ball, i.e. pretty much Evan Neal. And outside of that, I mean, he's literally trying to just kind of minimize the damage, because he knows that if he stays with it, he's going to make plays. And that wasn't the case before. That just wasn't. Sarge, go ahead.
Right. Up Evan Neal, who actually had a really decent game. He didn't make too many mistakes. He did get beat once or twice. But like you said, he's got that awareness now where he's not doing that thing where he's trying to pocket's breaking down, so I'm going to drop back even further and turn what could be a 1 or 2 yard loss into a 5, 10, 12-yard loss. He's stepping up in the pocket. He's grabbing onto the ball. He'll go down, or he'll try to just chuck it away, and he's making those decisions that those were drive killers last year, the year before that. When we would have just simple mistakes. Like think about this: first play on offense of the, Saquon cracks off a 17-yard run, and we get a holding penalty, and it's now 1st and 20. Last year or the year before that, you're punting now. Forget it. You're not, because you're not going anywhere. this year, he's making the read. He's whipping the ball downfield. And we're getting first downs and touchdowns. And so when you hear somebody, this ass clown's Colin Cowherd, talk about how, he's only got 15 touchdowns. Who cares how many touchdowns he has? We're winning games. It's a team sport. Shout out to Eli. Shout out to Eli Rax, AKs of the New York Revival, checking in. So, but like I'm going off on a tangent, but here statistically, it's probably maybe not his best year. Who cares? Because the only stat that counts is 9, 7, and 1. Or technically, I know they stopped counting in the playoffs, but guys,
10, 7, and 1.
We have a 10-win season.
10-win team.
We're one game away from the NFC Championship game. We're another game away from a Super Bowl. This close to doing it again when everybody says can't. And that's the
No, I mean, listen, Sarge, you're spot on, man. Like I really do feel like we're in such a good position. Like I saw this comment the other day, and shout out Eli, New York Revival guy. I love you, man. I think I told Hefe, whose song, by the way, I tried to clip that, beating Philadelphia. I messaged him and I said, bro, Cash Martindale is calling you and he's telling you he's retiring because I can't as good as that. Holy shit, that was fucking amazing. So shout out Hefe, New York Revival guys. But Eli, if you're listening, because I see you in the chat, I remember being on your show with all the guys and saying that when the Giants made the playoffs, that you and I would have to do a song together where you did some bars and I did some. So we almost do like a little remix. I'm just saying. So if you're listening, hit me up. We'll talk about it. But I will say this about the game coming forward. This team is going to not change much, except I think what I loved about the Minnesota game that I think we'll see a lot with the Eagles is they're going to do what they did on that defensive side. I know they have two guys that can beat us with multiple guys, really. So Philly's a good team. But I really like what they're doing on defense right now. The pass rush is there. Lane Johnson's banged up. I don't love our linebackers right now, but I feel like we can protect them because I really do believe that I feel like there was a thought of Wink Martindale in this scheme where they were like, it's okay if Hawkinson beats us. Okay. But we're not going to let Jefferson beat us. So I could see some of that same action, hopefully a little tighter defense, where we're like, okay, I could see them being like, we're not going to let Devontae and AJ Brown beat us over the top. We're gonna have to see if they're gonna grind it out with Leonard Williams now and Dexter Lawrence together to kind of stop the run and play tight. I feel like that's going to be part of it. And then if you guys remember from last year when Jalen Hurts was in the playoffs, what did Tampa Bay do to him? They forced him to roll out to his left and throw across his body to see if that's see if he could throw. And I think he's made huge improvements in his game. But I don't know coming off this bum shoulder if he's going to be able to do that with as much effectiveness as he would have earlier in the year. So I just feel like, to me, those are the keys, is kind of forcing him against the grain and then maybe trying to keep guys in front of you. I hate playing that kind of like shell cover 2 style, cover 3 quarters defense. But if it's a means to an end to keep the game close and then blitz like they did at the end of the Vikings game. It was like, okay, now we're going man. And we're going straight up, and then Cordell Flott makes a great play. I can see them doing that switch up for sure.
You got something, Sarge?
Yeah, I could see them shifting. I could see them known, and then just rushing 4. They can get home with the. I mean, we don't know what's going on with Aziz. Obviously, he's on the injury report as questionable. He'll give it a go and he'll try to play, but what happens? and more than likely Rain and Hottie in that spot. So we'll have to see who goes, but I really think that we can get after Hurts, and he's not 100%. Don't give me that. I don't even hear that. He's not on the injury report because they don't want. No, he's not 100% because he looked like garbage when we played him 2 weeks ago, and you cannot tell me that a week off and he's magically 100%. They were talking about that shoulder injury was close to his collarbone area, so it made it hard for him to get like a full, I don't know, like his follow through is off or something like that. There's a good chance we hit him enough he may not play the second half. Who knows?
That's something I wanted to touch on. That's something I wanted to touch on too, Sarge. I was listening to some NFL Network today, and Garofola, shout out, ex-New York Giants beat, one of the best in the game. He was talking a little bit about the Eagles' injuries, and he was talking about Jalen Hurts, and he said, like, yeah, he's not on the injury report, but guys, he's not 100%. Like, don't get that confused. He is not. He's still feeling it in his shoulder. He is off the injury report, but he is not. He's not 100%. And then also is Lane Johnson he's practicing, and I think he's either off the injury report or expected to play, one of the two. But
expected to play.
But he is not in good shape from what he was saying was that he's a warrior, he's a great tackle, but from what it sounds like, he is feeling it right now. He is like he's looking forward. So he obviously, I'm sure he wants a season to go on as long as he can, but he's looking forward to recovering because he is fighting through some injuries right now. Those are two big pieces we got to try to take advantage of.
Couldn't agree with you more, Monty. Like, I really do feel like in this scenario, if you're going to unleash the Thibodeau and his Snow Angels on Lane Johnson, because I really don't think that is going to be a great matchup for them. But I also feel like if they start to get beat and they have to give help the way we've had to give help on the right side this year, that also limits their ability on offense, because now you can't truly play 11 on 11. If you got to chip running backs, if you got to leave a tight end in, then that means coverage is tighter. That could lead to more turnovers. That could lead to more exotic blitzes. So there's a lot of things that Wink can do. So hopefully this pass rush, and I really hope Azeez can play and at least be effective on rushing downs. That Hottie and guys like Zimenez and those guys are definitely going to be, trying their asses off, but they're just not the skilled pass rushers that Tibbs is. And
they're not difference makers.
That Azeez
they're good players.
They're not game wreckers. They're guys who set the edge. They're guys who make plays. And we're going to need that because there's a lot of read option. So I just think, again, like when you look at this team, this isn't, we've talked about this. I'm going to use that term again. It's not house money. I don't care how many times people say it. It's just not. It's the biggest load of horseshit in the world. And you know what? I'm going to get your guys' thoughts on this because I heard this on the Eli and Peyton cast, right? On the Monday night game. When Dallas was beating the shit out of Tampa Bay and they were going into halftime, Peyton Manning said something very, very interesting. I want to get your guys' take. Someone said, I guess the broadcasters, but it was a Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. So we're going to see what the adjustments are at halftime. Peyton Manning said, the biggest myth in all of NFL football is the adjustments at halftime. He said, no one says anything to the players. He's like, we go in. He's like, we have something to eat. If your jersey's fucked up, you switch it out. There's no such thing as halftime adjustments. And then I started thinking, and then I'll ask you guys what your thoughts are. Do you think that there's a potential where the coaches are kind of together huddling and kind of thinking of ways to make changes? Because if they're clearly not talking to the players, that just tells me that these players are ready. And if you're listening to your coaches, then obviously you're going to do something.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's a coaching thing. It would be curious to me where it's not a player thing in the sense of, I assume they have the beginning of the first half scripted out. So I assume they would change that script if things aren't working well. And that's where a guy like Peyton would be affected by it. But at the same time, Peyton Manning was a guy who came to the line with all these different audibles and kind of call whatever he wanted. So maybe it isn't something affects him. So,
Omaha.
But what? Omaha. But
I was calling an audible.
but yeah, I think it's a coaching thing. I think that's right. I think you might get your halftime speech or whatever, depending on how the game's going. But yeah, I think it's the coaches are adjusting, not the players.
What you got, Sarge?
Yeah, I have to agree with that. A lot of times if they show like the booth where if the OC or the DC is up in a booth, like right before halftime, you'll see them kind of like close up shop real quick and head down. So it's a lot of like a quick coach's power, and like you said, you might get like we got a hell half left. You get you get a little pump up speech before you head back out, and then the play calling is then adjusted. So I don't think it's got anything to do with the players. I think it's more coaching wise. Because if you've watched Hard Knocks at all, like the Arizona Cardinals Hard Knocks, it was everyone's eating Uncrustables and talking shit, and Watt's playing with a ball, and then off they go. So
no, I thought that was cool because that's probably the most overused thing that a broadcaster says. So, and honestly, that's why those Eli and Peyton casts are pretty cool. That you get some insight into some things that you normally wouldn't get because they're not going to, you had Eli on there fucking flipping people the bird. Like they don't care. They're like, it's just such an interesting thing. And I think our friends, and we're not affiliated with them, but Bobby Skinner and that's the Birds. Bobby and Justin are affiliated with John Boy Media, and John Boy did that a long time ago. Jimmy and Jake, the guys who do the Talking Yanks, that was the original. They did like a Talking Yanks live stream, and then they did one this year. I think first year on Yes. So that's something that's been going on for years, and the NFL finally was just like, let's have something cool. I think it's great. I love. I mean, Eli and Peyton, it's like two brothers talking about football who happen to both be Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Pretty freaking awesome. So I can't see what this clip is, guys, but I'm gonna try it. And if I forget which one it is, and if it's the wrong time for it, I apologize. But let's see what we got here.
Let's go for it.
Oh no, this is
the
clip. Celebration.
I love shit up there. Gets the shirt off.
Yeah. I just think
future
anytime
wide
a team
coach Sterling Shepard.
Yeah, Sterling Shepard.
Yeah.
Anytime a team has a theme song, like you could almost Mason, I'm sorry, I'm responding to something in the chat. We showed the video of Daniel Jones hitting the gritty. Well, maybe we'll replay it again. So yes, we did. But no, I was gonna say, like, anytime a team has a theme song, there's good vibes, man. Like, whether you like that song, whether you think it's the worst song in the world, that locker room is in it. They're vibing. I know Dayball likes Juicy. I'm sure that gets played, but after a win, they're playing that song. What's the name of that song? I'm an old man. I don't have it off the top of my head here.
I'm not sure. I should ask Jimmy Copa. He would know. He always knows.
You're the youngest one here. You need to know.
I know. Don't know though. Anybody in the chat know? Hit us up.
Yeah, if anyone knows what the name of that song is, I think I looked it up earlier today, and I was just like, because I wanted to listen to it again, and I was like, "Yep, this is not for me," but that's okay.
I think it's actually called "Walk Into Your Trap, Take Over Your Trap." I have no idea.
I think it's "Take Over Your Trap." I think that's what I saw. But yeah, take it from the two old whites. But okay. I wanted that clip because let's talk about Isaiah. You're not an old white. You're the oldest white here, okay? So take it easy. Let me tell you, Isaiah Hodgins.
Oh my God.
Hello? Like, what the fuck, man? I can't
Oh man.
I can't even begin to talk about how much I love this kid. He is turning into wide receiver one, and everyone that says, "Oh, well, that's premature," or like anyone that's like, "Oh, well, he's probably more of a two," fine. Have You can have
Mhm.
more than one really good split end on your team. They don't have to. The way this offense
We'd
runs,
like more.
yeah, you don't have to. You don't. We're not. This isn't Jason Garrett's offense, guys. Where it's like, okay, you
Yeah.
go on the left, I go on the right. Everyone. Have you seen what Justin Jefferson did all year? They put him in the slot. They put him on the outside. Like, all we're going to do is add more pieces. This kid is the real deal, and I love him because he runs tight routes, but he also catches everything. Knock on wood. Yeah, it's he does kind of look like a Larry Fitzgerald type. And he's got surprisingly good breakaway speed too, which is
Yeah.
something that I didn't think a guy like that size had. I think he definitely certainly has more pep in his step. He looks like a young Kenny Galladay. I mean, for real. Like, let's just call it what it is. Like what Kenny Galladay used to look like, this kid is right now.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, his comp from
And all
Daniel
he does is catch
Jeremiah
touchdowns.
was Alshon Jeffrey. Yeah, it was. I mean, yeah.
Is that what he said?
Mm-hmm. Alshon Jeffrey. I can see that.
I can see that. But he played for the
But
Eagles, so fuck him.
yeah, fuck the Eagles. Fuck Alshon Jeffrey.
Fuck the Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey's like somewhere just like watching TV. He's taking strays. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
I don't give a
Plex
shit.
go burst.
Thank you. Yes, Plex. Give me a Plex there. And the crazy thing is like people want to compare these runs. Like this is like 07 or this is like a reverse of 08. Like
Mhm.
we had like proven Pro Bowl players in multiple different spots. Like these kids are playing above that, but
Yeah.
they haven't gotten their flowers yet. So like that's why I think it's unique to everything. I don't want to make comparisons. This is a unique situation. Very difficult to
But
go from 4-13 to 10 wins and staring at a divisional game.
yeah, it is interesting though when people bring it, and there is a lot of comps, but I agree it's its own thing. But yeah, I mean, back to Hodgins, that guy's a freak. I can't believe the impact he's at. First of all, let's just set things straight. You know how hard it is for any wide receiver. Let's take away that he was a practice squad receiver. Any wide receiver to walk into a new team, into a new scheme with a new quarterback, new teammates, and immediately see success. You almost never see it. When you see these trade deadline acquisitions, these guys almost never show what you want these guys to get. Instead of just be playing to the level we were hoping he would play, he is excelling and going way past expectations. So like, and on a bum ankle, let's keep that in mind. And this guy looks incredible.
Yeah. I was gonna mention the purple ankle. Yeah, Monty. I mean, you bring that up. How he's coming in. He's coming in on off of the waiver wire, which by the way didn't cost us anything. We've got Isaiah Hodgins, and it didn't cost us any draft capital whatsoever. We picked a guy up at the waiver wire who was familiar with the system that we're running now, right? He was with Daboll and Shane in Buffalo, so he got to know he's at least mostly familiar with the game that we're running and the terminology that we're using, and the guy's just lighting it up out there. He instantly clicked with DJ, and all he does is make catches. Like, do we know how many drops he's got since he's come to the Giants? Probably not many.
0.
Yeah, I can't. And that sideline catch this past weekend was
Jones looks, throws. Hodgins, is he in? Isaiah Hodgins hauled it in and he's inbounds. Oh my, what a throw and catch.
Monty with the smooth transition.
Monty,
good Lord.
Nice. Love it. No, did you see that? So normally, right, what you get is he makes that catch on the Vikings sidelines. You see tons of coaches or anybody in a fight doing this. Like, no, he didn't make it in. There was one guy who just kind of pointed to the spot. He was just making sure the ref gave him the right spot. Yeah, Doug, that was a perfect throw. Like, Jones rolls out and just hits him on the sideline. It was an amazing throw and catch.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that he's in and he both feet down and then out of bounds. Boom.
I know we're not making.
I think Gary Foley from Giant Insider used the term godsend.
Yeah, that's a great comment. And our buddy Crypt here, Fareez, this is a great point. With his emergence, you don't have to force a DeAndre Hopkins trade, or you don't have to force a trade for insert your wide receiver one here. Like, whoever you think is worth, trading to, because right now we have the 25th pick in the draft or whatever it is. It's just a great point.
You have a guy will produce.
Yes,
you have a guy.
Right, you have a guy that Daniel Jones trusts. And it's not Richie James. Think about it. Earlier in the year, every time he was in trouble, the ball would go to Richie James, or even Bellinger, or another tight end that was signed that week, Myrick, Cager, whoever it was. Like, those design plays to kind of just move the chains. Now he's got a guy that he can, outside of Slayton, that he can throw to, and even someone like Slayton. Let's talk about him real quick. I really think a guy like Slayton has meant so much to this team because everyone knows your business on an NFL team. He took a big pay cut. He comes back. He wasn't even really he's an afterthought, between having Shepard and Wandale and Galladay and these guys and Tony before he was traded. Like, without Slayton, where would we be? Right.
Yeah.
We certainly wouldn't be in the playoffs because he's made plays.
We wouldn't be in this position where we are.
No, we just wouldn't be. Yeah. And, listen, he is the guy that he's the anti-Isaiah Hodgins in the respect that, he's going to make a huge play, 65 yards, but he could also drop a wide open pass over the middle like he did the other day. So, but I think Daniel Jones really trusts him. He's thrown a couple 50-50 balls to his way.
Been there his whole career.
Yeah, his whole career. And, I can't hate on a guy that's took a pay cut to come back and really, be a part of this team. So I hope we bring him back as well. I think he's going to make an impact today
so
because
Mason brings up a
Saturday.
Go ahead, sir.
Good, Sarge.
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on, wrong one. Mason brought up a good point, and I'm gonna pull it up here. If I can stop clicking buttons. If the chat would stop for just a second. So Mason brought up a good point. The wide receiver one thing is a little overrated because what happens when you have a wide receiver one, like Justin Jefferson? If you have a defensive coordinator, he's going to plan around that one guy, and everybody else kind of get dispersed out and get their touches. Like, that's what the Patriots do, right? But when you've got a couple can do a lot of damage, right? Mm-hmm. Like what the Eagles have with A.J. Brown and Dave Smith and Dallas Goedert. Got a couple of guys who can damage. That's kind of what you want. Like, I don't need Justin Jefferson getting doubled every single play. What I want is 4 or 5 guys who can be out there catching balls and moving us down the field so that a defensive coordinator doesn't know who to focus on. Mm-hmm. Keep it shifty, keep it moving around, just start feeding the ball to a lot of different receivers. That's kind of what I want, spread it out. Let the defense kind of figure it out on their own.
No, I don't disagree with that. I think we have a very good example of that from not too long ago. I mean, I guess you could say Hakeem Nicks was the number one of that Giants team, but you had Nicks, Cruz, Manningham, and all three of those guys could have had 1,000-yard seasons if and I think 2 of them did. And you remember the Bill Belichick quote when they ended that game, he said, "This is still a Nicks and Cruz game," and Manningham beat him on that corner out from that great throw by Eli. So that's a good point. But I also think too, with the way Dayball structures this offense, one of the best plays that they ran all game was a kind of a slide out to Saquon in the flat where he kind of beat the rush or beat the linebacker and kind of had a wide open lane. I think it was like a 30-yard gain. But part of that is because they ran all this traffic going in the opposite direction. So like by the time that linebacker was there, so if you have, and that's how that Slayton play happened too. Traffic, people fell down. We didn't get called for an OPI finally. And, we got a big play out of it. So these are the offenses that people are running in. It's about adjustments on the defensive side. And if we have talented wide receivers, when that kind of stuff breaks down, that's when you need the Stephon Diggses of the world, the Justin Jeffersons of the world. It's not for the, first, second quarter when you're setting things up. It's for when you do play action and you throw in deep. That's why Buffalo is so good, with a similar team, because you have Diggs, you have Gabe Davis, and then you have the complementary guys, McKenzie. You have, different slot receivers. Even Cole Beasley made an impact in his first game back this year. So, like, to your point, it's a great point. If you can get three guys who are pretty comparable, awesome. But if you get a one alpha and everyone kind of knows the hierarchy of it, that's fine. And to Mason's point, he said it on a rookie deal, great. I don't want DeAndre Hopkins. But if you but if someone was like 1 year for a 5th round pick or something like that, some bullshit like that, cool. But I'm not paying that guy, $40 million or $30 million a year on wide receiver money or whatever it is. I don't know what top end wide receiver money is, 25, 30.
It's a lot now.
Yeah, I'm good. Like, well, you can find someone. You can find wide receivers anywhere, clearly. And Joe Shane has proven that with this year.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of with you there, Smooth. Where you kind of went to a couple of points I was going to say, where wide receiver one is important ultimately in the sense of, like, think of that Slayton play that followed right after that Hodgins catch, where he throws it up to him. The number one comes down with that, and it's a touchdown. 100%. And we're missing a lot of these explosive plays in the offense. And how you get more of those explosive plays, having a guy that you trust and who can make special plays. And that's how you get more of those big plays. And also, if he's double covered and they have to focus on that guy, that opens up the competent guys. So, but I do agree with you guys where I think the most important thing this offseason is just go ahead and continue to add to this and get competent wide receivers like we started to have. I don't know if Slayton will be back or not. He's a free agent. I don't know what kind of attention he's going to get out there. I'd welcome him back. I don't know how the coaches feel. It seems like Dable was, giving him a pat on the back and was fine with him making that drop, which I think says a lot how far they've come in their relationship together since making him inactive. But yeah, I think you go ahead and add another veteran to this offense and add a young rookie in the 1st or 2nd round, and they don't have to be a 1 right away because you have a guy like Hodgins, you have a guy hopefully like Richie James, and those guys that you can rely on even if they aren't special wide receivers, and you can work the offense, and something we haven't had it feel like a lot recently, which is great.
Something that I will add to this conversation in terms of what this team has set up with making this run is not only just a winning culture, but a culture of honesty. What I mean by that is they, from the start, were like, if you play well in practice, you will get reps. This is not a hierarchy of the highest paid players are going to play just because some fucking asshole in the front office gave someone guaranteed money. No, the coaches and how they set up competition in practice and what they do is what's going to dictate who plays. Think about that. Galladay barely got on the field, and for obvious reasons, when he did, he wasn't effective. He wasn't reliable. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for guys who don't make waves, who are reliable, who are tough, who are smart, who you can count on, right? And then on the defensive side, you bring back a guy like Landon Collins, and everyone was like, holy shit, awesome. Give us some help in the secondary or getting down in the box. That dude was, and we saw that last week with LPG, how he told us that, Landon Collins is ready to quit because he wasn't going to play, and he wanted to play somewhere, but he bought his time out, and is now a big part of why we're here. So this is something that I think is interesting about Dayball is when he starts in Shane, when they bring people in, what you see is what you get, and whatever they've kind of told Slayton and whether he's coming back or not is going to be transparent. Like, if we want you back, here's what we can pay you. Here's what you're worth to us, and if he can get money elsewhere. Listen, my favorite player ever, Justin Tuck, went to the Raiders because he got a shit ton of money at the end of his career. God bless him. Still one of my favorite Giants ever. Hate that he had to end his career there, but that's life.
Yep.
I'd love to see Slayton back, but at the right price, right? Like
Mhm.
everybody. I want everybody back. If this team goes on a run, everybody can come back.
Like
I don't
everybody.
give a shit.
Yeah.
Everybody. Even if we win a Super Bowl, Kenny Galladay can hang out for 1 game. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no.
Not my money.
Yep. Since he keeps throwing blocks like that, yeah.
Hell yeah, that was worth
That's a
at least
$34
$20
million
million.
block right there.
How much did you say it was? I said 20 million.
Well, I said to somebody on Twitter, like, after last week, after the touchdown and now that block, somebody was saying, like, that touchdown was a $72 million touchdown. I'm like, well, that block, now you can kind of cut it in half.
Yeah.
I mean, listen,
That's
it's the
a-
playoffs,
that's a
so
what,
I feel like that
$36
block
million block and a
yeah,
$36
$36 million.
million touchdown.
Line
I'm
him
with
up
you.
at right tackle.
I'm with you there. I don't know what this clip is again, but we're gonna
That
try
block,
to play with it.
I
and see
feel
what this
bad
is.
for that guy who hit the.
You paused on us, Sarge.
What?
You kind of
Oh.
froze on us.
Oh, I'm still having
We
issues.
still have a few technical
So,
difficulties.
Yeah, what I want to say is I feel bad for that guy he blocked. I don't get it.
Oh,
Anyway,
he got
I feel
killed.
bad for the guy he blocked
Knocked his
because
damn mouth
that
guard.
was 2 years worth of frustration taken out of
Yeah.
that one poor dude. Not just 5 yards up the field, the
Here
mouth
it is.
guard goes.
So true. Let's see. Oh, Mason hitting you in the low
right,
blow
man.
here, bro. Would you like to respond?
I just got this ending that's supposed to be way better, and I'm still getting a little interruption. I don't know what it is. I'll have to figure it out.
Well, I want to put this. I added a clip here, so clearly it was
Yeah.
something that we thought was cool. Hang on 1 second. I want to see what this is. Oh yeah. Watch this reaction.
He is not gonna get there.
So we
and
win.
The Giants will take over.
This is not real.
Get there, and the Giants will take over.
Ah, the friggin' Giants! I can't stand the Giants!
So that's a person. Yeah, I don't like. I just thought it was funny. Like I know
That's the guy.
that's a real life. I don't know, person that was upset. I love how it's that guy. My initial thought with that was he's wearing a Ravens jersey.
Yeah.
So why are you that mad? Like if you were a Vikings fan and you were pissed off about the game, cool, okay, I feel you. But if you're a Ravens fan, like you're wearing a Lamar Jackson
get it.
jersey, freaking out. I don't get it.
That's what he does. He loves to just freak out and get reactions. He's good at it, but man, it's over the top.
Yeah, I'd say so. All right, guys, let's wind it down. What are we thinking? First
All right.
off, everywhere
we-
I'm gonna go to Monty.
You've exhausted all the clips.
Oh, sorry, Sarge. I'm gonna go around the horn, go Monty, and then I'll go Sarge.
Yeah.
Tell me where
Yeah, go for it.
you're gonna be, and then what's some. I know we've talked about your superstitions, but where you're gonna be? Obviously, we're all pumped for the game. What are your thoughts and a prediction?
All right, so yep, I'm going to be in my house watching the game. Once we get to the playoffs, I can't watch these with anybody. I have to watch these by myself, knocking the shit out of my side tables and knocking on wood every single play. Probably drinking a little bit too much, but yeah, man, I'm excited for it. Fuck Philadelphia. Beating them, it would just mean so much more than a normal division round beating Philadelphia. I think that there is a path to victory. I think they have not been the same team since Hurts got hurt, knock on wood. But seriously, this team the Giants are not a team people want to face right now. And the Eagles have been on the downslope, and it was a close game even with our backups. It's gonna be a big game. It's gonna mean a lot to both sides. I'm gonna go ahead and call this back to 2008 when we beat the Cowboys in divisional round. We beat them 21-17. I'm gonna say 21-17. We beat the Eagles.
Okay, Sarge.
Okay.
I more than likely will be home. I was going to check out that Giants bar down in Denver, but it's the hour drive after the game. That's going to be kind of a killer. So I don't know if I want to do that. I might wait till next season. More than likely, I'll be home. And much like Monty, I've had way too much to drink. I'll be pacing. So that'll be fun. And as far as the score goes, I got to agree with Sal and Monty, man. 27-17 Giants. Let's fucking do this. Fuck Philly and their stupid. What did Jeff? How did Jeff say it? Fuck them in their stupid sandwich.
And there's fucking stupid fucking Philly cheesesteak. I love it. I love the predictions.
Stupid fucking Philly cheesesteak.
Sarge, do not drive an hour after the game. Stay home. That's a good. We'll save that for another time. It's a playoff.
Yeah.
It's a playoff game.
No.
Before I even get into this, I had someone ask me like 2 weeks ago when they're playing the Colts to clinch playoff berth. They were like, "Hey, what are you doing on Sunday? Carolina and the Giants are playing, at the same time. So maybe we can go watch the game." And I went, "Yeah, I'm not doing that." I said, "I'll be home." So I'm with you, man. Like since I'm not going to be home, I've mentioned this on Twitter. My wife and I have a baby shower that we're going to, driving to Tennessee to see her family. We've already have this, even though everyone knows she's a Cowboys fan. So pray for me if they both win. But we got this. This is our solidarity. So this is for our baby that's coming in March. So this is the first thing that will be used as soon as he has his first accident, grows up, whatever the case is. That was sent to us by a very fun and mutual friend. Because you want to know why? Fuck the Eagles in that stupid town. The cheesesteaks are overrated. Season your fucking meat. This isn't a bullshit cookout. Get some real cheese. Provolone is decent, but it's not the best. And if you use Cheese Whiz on your steak, you're an idiot. So sorry. Most overrated sandwich in the world. It's a steak and cheese. Big fucking deal. Anyway, back to football. I think the Giants are going to win the game. I think it's going to be a third straight game. All year we've talked about how they can't score 30 points. Well, the last two times that Daniel Jones has started a game, 38-30. We're going to go 31-28. Giants win. Graham Gano, 45-yard field goal with time running out. That's how we're winning the game. I will be in a hotel in Johnson City, Tennessee, screaming my balls off, and I've already asked them to upgrade my television to the best one they have because
Nice.
I have no idea what I'm walking into, but I just know that I'll be ready. I will not be drinking, but I will be pacing.
Why not?
So it's probably better that I don't because I will wreck a hotel room if we lose. So on behalf of all of us at Big Blue Beards, we're going to win this game. We're out. Go Giants.
Fuck Philadelphia.
Fuck them.